When you descend down to Earth at 51.443570 degrees latitude and 5.446869 degrees longitude, you will notice a rather unearthly building. This spaceship, called the Evil One, has been stationed in the City of Light since 1966. Although it was scheduled for departure a long time ago, the inhabitants of planet Earth still haven't managed to successfully unite the force of gravity with the force of electromagnetism, and so the Evil One patiently awaits its liftoff. In the 1960s and 70s, when the Evil One was still a science museum, it attracted a large number of visitors. That period was a particularly interesting time for science fiction. Since the digital age had not yet emerged, people were only just starting to get a sense of what the future might actually have in store. In that sense, the Evil One came along at just the right time, since it offered interactive exhibitions where people from all ages could get acquainted with the marvelous wonders of science and technology. While today's world is beginning to look more and more like the future scenarios that were previously envisioned by the many science fiction writers and filmmakers, our societies are often still characterized by systems and codes of conduct that stem from antiquity. As the advancement in robotics and artificial intelligence are causing more and more processes to become automated, our societies are facing urgent challenges in terms of how to adjust to these changes. Rather than having humans compete with AI, instead, we must begin to make a clear distinction between artificial intelligence and human intelligence, and subsequently reconsider what it means to be a human being. In the past, our educational systems have revolved almost exclusively around factual knowledge. This tradition has culminated in the perfection of artificial intelligence. Yet many people, including some of the most influential thinkers, perceive the development of AI as a threat to humanity, because they are convinced that machines will soon outsmart humans on practically all levels. Yet these people seem to be forgetting one crucial thing, which is that machines possess a number of fundamental flaws in comparison with human beings. Ironically, those are exactly the human qualities that have been entirely neglected by our traditional educational systems. What differentiates humans from machines are our imagination, intuition, and emotion. Today we are entering into an age of post-truth. This means that we will require more than factual knowledge in order to guide us forward. At the same time, we witness how smart algorithms are determining more and more what data we're being fed with, and that's how we are led further and further away from our own intuition. In response to this, I've come up with a new platform called Mindport. Mindport is an intelligence agency for the upliftment and empowerment of the human species. It is both a physical and a virtual platform that intends to offer a positive perspective on the future and facilitate tools that will allow for an easier and smoother transition into a new paradigm. From our physical headquarters, preferably the Evil One in Eindhoven, we want to set the stage for a new kind of humanity that is prepared to move beyond the coming technological singularity. Imagine stepping inside the Evil One and immediately being welcomed by an artificial intelligence. This bot will guide you through the world of Mindport, both through screens and speakers inside the building, as well as via an app on your phone. The first thing you will notice is how positive this bot is. She's been programmed to continuously remind you that everything inside the universe is based on attraction. What you send out is what you get back. Reality is like a mirror. By recognizing this, we are preparing ourselves for a future in which humanity is consciously aware that we create our own reality. We create our own reality by means of our imagination, intuition, and emotions. Our factual knowledge is only a helping tool. At Mindport, we refer to the realm of our imagination as our virtual reality. which is composed of endless databases in which we store all our dreams, desires, and preferences. Every time we encounter contrast, which happens constantly because the entire universe is based on duality, we automatically generate personal preferences. The Mindport bot is specifically designed to assist you in moving from the level of consciousness that is focused on the problem to the level of consciousness that is able to attract the solution. After having received this briefing, we enter on board the spaceship and begin our journey through the rings of the building. Each ring essentially represents a layer of our personal evolution. Our life is like a spiral of reoccurring patterns that we must learn to transform in order to reach self-realization. In that sense, a journey through the Evil One can be likened to our own journey through life. The further we go, the more we discover about ourselves, until eventually we reach the top, where all of our insights converge. With VR glasses, we will immerse ourselves inside virtual worlds, where we learn more about the relationship between consciousness and physical reality. We will invite artists, designers, programmers, and scientists from all over the world to collaborate in creating installations that are designed to enlighten and empower our audience. At Mindport, we want to bring out the genius in you. By incorporating brainwave entrainment into our installations, we will help you synchronize the left and right hemispheres of your brain. In effect, you will be guided into a more coherent mind stream. This can be likened to how our devices are able to transmit and receive signals. If the device is not carefully tuned to the specific frequency of our preference, we cannot pick up the requested signal, and all we get is noise. Along those lines, most of the installations at Mindport will bear a relation to familiar everyday technologies such as smart devices, wireless internet, GPS, and VR glasses. We will use these technologies as metaphors to explain things about the nature of our reality, which were much more difficult to grasp before these technologies existed. For example, you can compare your emergence into this physical world with putting on a VR suit and completely immersing yourself inside a virtual reality. As soon as you withdraw your focus from the physical world, you will start identifying with the virtual domain and gradually lose all sense of where you actually are in reality. While you are looking through the eyes of your virtual self, as if that virtual character was you, your virtual self cannot see you because you exist outside of the virtual domain. Meanwhile, the virtual environment seems so real and physical, there seems to be no reason to question the validity of your experience. This can be likened to our immersion into this physical world. Although it is made to appear as if it's the only reality that exists, our dreams at night reveal that there are more ways to experience reality that do not necessarily require a physical body. In fact, quantum physics reveals that what our senses interpret as real solid objects in the physical world actually consist for more than 99.999% of empty space. What we think of as real solid particles are actually waves of probability that can be influenced by our observation. In that regard, it is really more accurate to think of our everyday reality as a virtual reality, rather than a solid physical reality. Big thinkers all throughout the ages have been trying to convey this to us. Guys like Plato, Socrates, Jesus, the Buddha, as well as some of the founding fathers of quantum mechanics. There are even contemporary entrepreneurs such as Elon Musk, who are not afraid of comparing our reality to a computer simulation. At Mindport, we want to open you up to these ideas in ways that will empower you. What it all boils down to is that you are the ultimate smart device, an organic receiver and transmitter of infinite intelligence. When you think a thought, you emit a signal that the reality around you will begin to resonate with. That's how you attract circumstances, people, and events onto you that match the particular wavelength you're on. Yet because our reality is designed to make us become wholly identified with the physical three-dimensional world, it is no wonder that it can be hard to remember where you actually are in reality, especially when there is no one around you to remind you of this. That's why we are here. At Mindport, we want to remind you that there is a larger part of you, which we may call your higher self, spirit, or soul. This larger part of you never ceases to communicate with you. In fact, he's always guiding you through your emotions and your intuition. They function as a sort of GPS system. Your relation with your higher self is very much like the relation between the virtual avatar in a VR and the physical user. Our higher self is constantly offering us signals in order to guide us forward. Your evolution is her only interest, because that's the sole reason why you immersed yourself into this physical world. And since you and your higher self are not separate, she's constantly focused here with you. Mindport is like a museum, where the visitor is the subject matter. It was Socrates who already said that people make themselves appear ridiculous when they are trying to understand the workings of external reality before they know themselves. Children innately understand this. They are still as much aware of what goes on inside of them as they are sensitive to the world outside of them. At Mindport, we want to inspire people to look at their everyday reality through the eyes of a child again. By offering an experience in which the inner and the outer world converge and become singular, we want to reveal that the knowledge of self and the knowledge of science and technology are actually complementary. We can use our technologies to better understand ourselves, and once we understand ourselves, it will be a lot easier to understand external matters. At Mindport, it is all about you. By empowering the individual, we want to empower the whole. We want to create a unique experience that will attract millions of visitors from all over the world, because we offer something unlike anything that can be found anywhere else in the world. Each ring inside the Evil One will have different segments that have been specifically designed to upgrade certain aspects of our being. In between the informative installations, you will have to maneuver yourself through mini escape rooms and advanced climbing frames in order to reach the next segment. In that way, we will alternate between sedentary episodes and the necessary dose of physical activity. Mindport will serve as a decor where fashion, furniture, technological gadgets, and other products that appear to come straight from the future can be admired. Moreover, visitors can buy drinks and beverages that are freshly made by food artists and have been specifically designed according to our scientific knowledge of the human body. At Mindport, we want to emphasize the importance of what we put into our bodies. For this also has a great influence on our ability to create our own reality. In the top of the building, there will be a main stage where lectures, demonstrations, and performances will be given. The wings of the building are set up as open laboratories where designers, artists, programmers, and companies can meet each other and start collaborating. These collaborations will be supported by the online Mindport platform, where everyone can sign up and pitch their dreams and/or invest in other people's dreams. Mindport Online should develop into a social media platform that elegantly unites the basic functions of websites such as LinkedIn, Kickstarter, and Facebook. By means of the latest distributed ledger technologies and smart contracts, we want to connect creators and investors in the easiest and most effective way. Furthermore, we want to test whether it's possible to use a percentage of the dividend that is generated by these currency flows to realize an unconditional basic income for the entire community. Mindport is a platform that is designed to help people make the shift from a scarcity-based economy to one that is based on the concept of abundance. When you've realized how your mind influences your reality, you will begin to see that there is always an abundance of whatever you choose to focus on. This is how we will ultimately consolidate our relationship with artificial intelligence. The extent to which we are able to control our own minds determines the extent to which we can cope with the implications of AI. Outside the Evil One, there will be drone races, as well as test grounds for new inventions. The entire terrain should be a place where people from all walks of life can come and tune in to the sci-fi future that we're heading towards. A future in which we will all receive the space and the support to realize our dreams. The time is ripe for unprecedented collaborations between all layers of society. From now on, it's going to be about all-inclusiveness. The world is ready for it. Only by lifting each other up can we realize the future where we could have already been if the polarization hadn't held us back for so long. Mindport sees the Brainport region as the designated location to start up her center, and from there, lift up the region to a higher frequency. By assisting our visitors in taking charge of their own mind, we want to offer an example to the world of a society that operates from a place of collective self-realization. When we take full responsibility for our state of mind and learn to tune ourselves to who we really are and what we really desire to attract, rather than the absence of it, just imagine how quickly our world could be transformed into a place that goes beyond even the wildest dreams of those early science fiction writers. Our dream is that the Evil One will serve as a source of inspiration for the entire world. An intelligence fun park in which endlessly new layers of reality can be explored together. As a result, Eindhoven will become the city of the future and serve as a model for a global society that is ready to move beyond the technological singularity. Here in Eindhoven, we can do it, as long as we dare to dream and tune in to the right frequency. At Mindport, we will ensure that that frequency is constantly present. And then maybe perhaps one day, the building itself will finally be ready for liftoff towards a higher